You know, a lot of us just assume that losing your memory is an inevitable, automatic part of getting older. But what if that's not the whole story? What if your brain could stay sharp and adaptable and just vibrant for way longer than you ever thought possible? Well, today we're going to look at a roadmap for exactly that, and it's inspired by some of the most incredible long-living minds in science.
And no, this isn't just some hypothetical question. It's a reality that's been demonstrated by some of the most brilliant scientists who ever lived. We are about to unpack a plan for brain longevity, and it's inspired by 3 Nobel Prize winners who all lived to be around 100 years old.
That's right. We're going to dive into the lives, and maybe more importantly, the discoveries of these absolute giants of science. And by doing that, we're going to find 9 powerful everyday foods that support the 3 key pillars of long-term brain health. This is all about finding a clear, science-backed pattern that you can actually follow.
So let's meet our first guide. This is the remarkable Dr. Rita Levi-Montalcini. Her work, it's just incredible, and it reveals the first fundamental principle of keeping your brain young. You have to keep your brain cells, your neurons, alive and kicking. The discovery of something called NGF, or nerve growth factor, was a total game changer. It completely flipped our understanding of brain aging on its head. See, before Dr. Levi-Montalcini, the common thinking was we just lose brain cells as we get older, and that's that. But she proved our brains are actively maintained by these little signals like NGF. If you have strong signals, you get resilient, healthy neurons.
And this right here, this quote just sums up her whole philosophy. She wasn't chasing fads or any of these anti-aging tricks. She simply practiced moderation, following a pretty simple Mediterranean style of eating. Her own life proved her science. To really nourish your brain, you have to avoid overwhelming it.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we support these NGF pathways? Well, first up, let's talk about fatty fish. The star player here is DHA, an omega-3 fat. I want you to think of it as the essential building block for your neurons' walls. It keeps them flexible and strong, which helps those crucial NGF signals get through loud and clear. Just aim for about 2 servings a week.
All right, next on our list, berries. You know those deep, rich colors you see in blueberries and blackberries? They come from compounds called anthocyanins. These things are amazing. They fight the kind of daily damage or oxidative stress that can mess with NGF, and they actually improve blood flow to the parts of your brain you use for learning. A small handful a day. It's such a simple, powerful habit.
And to wrap up this first pillar, we have extra virgin olive oil. There's a special compound in it called oleocanthal that's fantastic at reducing brain inflammation and protecting your neurons. Now, the trick here is to use the good stuff for salads or maybe light cooking, because that's how you preserve all those delicate, powerful compounds.
All right, let's dive into our second pillar. We're going to zoom in now from the level of whole neurons down to the tiny microscopic switches that actually control them. And we can do this thanks to the incredible work of Dr. Edmund Fischer.
Now, I know that sounds super complicated, right? Reversible protein phosphorylation. But stick with me. Just think of it like billions of tiny little light switches inside every one of your cells. Dr. Fischer discovered how our cells flip these switches on and off to control literally everything, from how we use energy to how we form a new memory. It's the fundamental process that keeps our entire cellular machine running smoothly.
And this is why it matters so much. When these switches are all working perfectly, your cell signals are precise, they're controlled, they're clear. But as we get older, or if our diet isn't great, those signals can get distorted and messy. So keeping these switches working precisely is absolutely key to healthy aging.
So what's the first food that helps us maintain these switches? The humble egg. It turns out the yolk is one of the richest sources of something called choline, and your brain uses choline to make acetylcholine, a crucial neurotransmitter for memory, for focus, for learning. So you see, eggs are basically handing your brain the exact raw materials it needs for clear signaling.
You know, some amazing long-term studies show that people who eat leafy greens regularly have noticeably slower rates of cognitive decline. So what's the secret sauce here? Well, they are packed with folate and magnesium. And magnesium is this critical helper molecule for hundreds of enzymes, including the exact ones that flip those on and off switches we were just talking about.
And finally, for this pillar, we've got legumes, things like lentils, chickpeas, and beans. Their magic is all about metabolic stability, because they give you this slow, steady release of energy. They prevent those big sugar spikes that can create so much metabolic stress and really mess up those precise cellular signals in your brain. They just keep the whole system calm and under control.
On to our third and final pillar, and this one comes from Dr. Torsten Wiesel, whose work gives us what might be the most hopeful message of all. Your brain isn't fixed. It's built to change, to adapt, and to stay flexible your entire life.
Dr. Wiesel's research showed that our sensory experiences, what we see, what we hear, what we learn, literally shape the physical wiring of our brain. This laid the groundwork for everything we now know about brain plasticity, and the takeaway here is just huge. It means that using your brain, staying curious, staying engaged, that's what literally keeps it young. And Dr. Wiesel is living proof, still active in science well past his 100th birthday.
So, what kind of foods help with this? Well, let's kick things off with one I think you're going to like: dark chocolate. Yep, the flavonols in high-quality dark chocolate have been shown to improve blood flow to the brain. This gets more oxygen and more nutrients to the active parts of your brain exactly when they need it most. Of course, moderation is key here.
Next up, mushrooms. Certain types, especially one called lion's mane, have these really unique compounds, and in lab studies, they've been shown to promote nerve growth and support myelination. Think of myelination as the insulation around your nerve fibers, like the plastic coating on an electrical wire. Just including a variety of culinary mushrooms in your diet is a fantastic move.
And food number 9 is green tea. What's so amazing about green tea is this 1-2 punch it delivers. You get a little bit of gentle caffeine combined with an amino acid called L-theanine. And together they create this incredible state of calm alertness. It's perfect for focus and learning. And meanwhile, its antioxidants are busy protecting your neurons for the long run.
Okay, so we've got our 9 foods, we've got our 3 big scientific ideas, but the real magic here isn't in any single food. It's in the pattern that emerges when you put it all together. When you step back and look at the lives of all 3 of these Nobel laureates, you see this shared philosophy. They weren't doing crash diets. They weren't chasing magic pills. They ate simple, balanced, real food. They never, ever stopped learning. And they valued consistency and moderation over any kind of extreme. It's beautiful, really. Their lives perfectly mirrored their science.
So if you're thinking, okay, this is great, but how do I actually do it? Well, here you go. Think of this as the brain longevity plate. It's so simple. Half your plate, fill it with leafy greens and other colorful vegetables. 1/4 gets a lean protein like fish or eggs or legumes. And that final quarter is for whole grains or even more legumes. It's just a simple, powerful visual to guide every meal you make.
And here it is, your final checklist. 9 foods, each one tied directly to a core scientific principle for a healthy brain. Pillar 1, neuron survival, fatty fish, berries, and olive oil. Pillar 2, those cellular switches, eggs, leafy greens, and legumes. And Pillar 3, a flexible plastic brain, dark chocolate, mushrooms, and green tea. Remember, this isn't about being perfect, it's just about consistently weaving these amazing foods into your life.
Look, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. You have way more power to influence your brain's future than you think. It's not all just genetics and luck. It's about the small, consistent choices you make, day in and day out. So your next meal, it isn't just food, it's a signal. It's a message you are sending directly to your brain. The only question is, what are you going to choose?